Assalamualaikum and hello to Madam Mardziyana, Muhammad Malom, and for those who are watching this video. My group is consisting of 4 members including me, which is 1 QURRATU'AINI binti ROSJUNADI alias 1 ROSJUNADI, AIENA ASZLIANA binti Muhammad DANNEY, AMNI IZZATI binti ZULKIFLI, and AMIR RIDZUAN bin AHMAD NAWAR. Today, we would like to talk about the issues that happen in our community. First and foremost, I would like to explain about wakaf. As we know, wakaf is one of the several philanthropy concepts in Islam. The word of wakaf is derived from the Arabic language, which means stop. The person who gives wakaf called wakif. The asset given called mawkuf. The beneficiaries of the wakaf called mawkuf alaih. This type of philanthropy named after stop because of their principle. When someone gives wakaf, the asset belongs to the mighty God of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, cannot be sold, cannot be uninherited. When some asset does not belong to any individual, there must be someone or some organization to manage and act as trustee to the wakaf asset, which is called mutawalli.
What is a waqf and how does it work? A waqf is an Arabic word that means to restrict and devote. In Islamic history, waqf took on the meaning of a pious endowment that would in theory last forever. A person would donate a piece of land, property, money, or even an object towards a pious cause and thereby gain a continuous reward, a sadaqah jariyah, forever giving. The waqf could not be touched and the income gained from it would be reinvested, amplifying its benefits across time. Throughout history, the Muslim world has had an abundance of famous awqaf that supported a variety of institutions and causes, from the well of Uthman radiallahu anh in Medina that provided water to the early Muslim Ummah, to universities such as Al-Azhar in Egypt that educated generations of scholars, to the modern hospitals supported by the Vehbi Koç Waqf in Turkey. The Muslim population in Britain is rapidly growing and our current institutions cannot keep up with the greater needs and wants. At the moment, the community's charity model is completely unsustainable and highly saturated. British Muslims donate between 500 million and £1 billion every year, supporting worthy causes across the globe. However, we still face significant challenges domestically and lag behind other British communities in the fields of health, education and wealth. Our Ummah will suffer spiritually if we do not change from the current reactionary short-term model to a proactive long-term one that seeks to set the agenda.
There are various issues in community regarding wakaf, such as low level of knowledge and awareness, lack of funds, management inefficiencies, incomplete data, as well as illegal invasions. But for today, I would like to discuss about legal conflict. What is legal conflict? In general, the legal conflict of wakaf practice occurs within the scope of land rights as well as wakaf actions that have been exist in every state in Malaysia. In a Malaysian context, the model administrative system is based on the colonial model. In essence, Malaysian land law consists of written and unwritten law, including customary law and Sharia law. The main legislation is the National Land Code (NLC) 1995, based on the Australian Torrens system, the Strata Copyright Act 1985, and the Land Acquisition Act 1966. The Sarawak Land Code CAP 81 and the Sabah Land Ordinance CAP 88. The data showing the resources and jurisdiction of the wakaf, zakat and Baitul Mal institutions in managing the funds or assets entrusted are subject to enactment and bills under the law of each body. This problem is exacerbated when there is conflict between the Sharia court and the civil court. It found that there is no specific provisions related to wakaf. Instead, enactments wakaf land acquisition procedures are more intricate than ordinary land, as well as there is a conflict that occurs between Sharia courts as a consequence of civil courts. The causes and jurisdiction of wakaf, zakat and Baitul Mal institution in managing the funds or property entrusted are subject to enactments and bills under the law of their respective bodies. Other than that, a need to obtain permission and approval from the State Islamic Religious Council (SIRC) as the sole trustee of Waqf property of all UA in the states, including the federal authority to implement Waqf is founded. The problem of a land development agreement or changing land conditions for landowners is difficult because of the absence of specific provisions related to Waqf in the state enactments. The problem develops into more intricate if the mutawalli is determined to sell the land along with serving it for development purpose. To date, there are many cases related to Waqf that are still pending in civil courts throughout Malaysia. Most legal problems is it because Waqf is a religious concept that requires recognition and enforcement of the law. The concept of Waqf religion is based on old theories without serious reading, thus producing a legal framework that is also based on the interpretation of very long religious texts. The issue of asset revaluation also arises from different interpretations and views for each state Waqf, zakat and Baitul Mal institutions.
Although Muslim in Malaysia has traditionally practiced Waqf, systematic Waqf administration did not begin until 1952, when the State Islamic Religion Council or SIRC were given specific authority to administer Waqf related concerns. This is stated in the rule governing the application of Malay Adat and Islamic law, referred to as the Law for Administration for the Religion of Islam 1952. The Administration of Islamic Legislation Enactment 1989 aimed to assemble all the regulation governing the administration of Islam in Selangor. The Selangor Waqf Enactment 1999 is a unique Waqf related to law that was passed in 1999. This law is significant because it will serve as a source of recommendation for streamlining Waqf administration in Selangor. It mentioned in the requirement of registering Waqf property in Selangor in the name of the Selangor Islamic Religion Council SIRC as the sole trustee of Waqf assets in Selangor, among other things, and outlines the implementation process for Waqf property registration and monitoring. In addition to the legal requirements, the 20th November 1999 Circular of the Director of Lands and Mines, which advised the Register of Title and Land Administrator regarding the registration of Waqf through statutory vesting to the SIRC based on Section 41 6C of the NLC, must also be taken in consideration when discussing Waqf administration. Although some states have made an effort to implement this circular, many others has not, owing to the variety of the factors, including the fact that things relating to Islam are the state concern and some states disregard the necessity of doing so. The judgment must during state fatwa council meeting are also taken into consideration which managing Waqf. The federal government can be considered as a person who creates a Waqf under the consideration that the land is available for development and intended for Waqf. As a person who creates Waqf, the government has the right to specify the requirement for the property to be the Waqf property. This was the decision of the 77th Conference of the National Fatwa Committee. However, the nomination of the Nazi is not permitted since it goes against the current regulation, which stipulates that the SIRC is the only trustee for Waqf. In addition to the information organization, consideration should also be given to the judgment reached during the session of the National Council for the Local Governments, the National Land Council and the State Islamic Religious Council as the bulk of Waqf concern immovable property. Moving on to the problem administration of wakaf land, there is no standard in the process of vesting wakaf lands. Wakaf land is governed by the rule of each state, which result in a lack of standard, procedures and inconsistent law and regulation across all states. Even if it only offers a temporary fix for wakaf land, the proposal to register wakaf using vested orders as the only procedure is opportunity. Although it could help to speed up the procedure, it also gives the SIRC a more approachable and transparent administrative style. Gaining the public's trust in the management of wakaf property is necessary if economic operations are to be founded on Islamic law practices.
Next, we move to resolution for the argument in this issue. Since the management of wakaf property is managed by the Islamic Council in each state, there are several solutions to improve it and resolving the issues that arise. Firstly, standardization of law in wakaf institution. Wakaf property may be in one state, but the beneficiary may be in another state, and a wakaf manager or company who manage the wakaf may operate in another state. Different wakaf legislation in each state will provide a misleading picture and sometimes the opposite of the judiciary, policymaker, administrator and the general public. Therefore, for a country with multiple states like Malaysia, the effort toward the standardization of wakaf legislation would be seen as an endeavor to ensure the effectiveness of wakaf property management in the country. At the same time, will reduce the subsequent uncertainty facilitators the transaction and bring to cost reduction. Another solution, the Islamic Religious Council of each state can use the Geographic Information System (GIS) as done in the state of Johor. GIS is a complete information system displaying the latest data in relation to the location and position of wakaf land, physical condition of the land, actual area accessibility, and surrounding development needs to be delivered. This information system not only keeps up-to-date record on wakaf land, but also allows administrators to carry out management and planning on wakaf land in a more efficient and orderly manner. Wakaf land can be transferred to map form and categorized according to its potential used by using this software. Once categorized, this land can be analyzed and used for planning development that can benefit the community. The system is reliable and should be commercialized for nationwide use. Lastly, make use of abandoned wakaf land. It is a demand that wakaf land can be managed and administrated properly with the aim of delivering benefit to Muslims. For the purpose, the development capability of wakaf lands must be seen in line with cost of management and revenue acquisition carried out through it. For example, the strategy and method of development of wakaf lands in Penang should exist its own framework and should not be abandoned in the field of conventional development that focus on physical achievement only. This is because wakaf lands in Penang are the most potential and dynamic sources of wakaf.
Assalamualaikum, my name is AMIR. I will continue in discussing the resolution that are given just now. Based on discussion on the difference of fatwa on wakaf property above, it can be understood that the fatwa cannot be reconciled between the state government and other state government or within the federal government. This is because it will result in different decision in the religious administration of a state or country. The implementation of unequal decision between one state and others can lead to defamation of Islamic equality and justice, as well as a violation of a good governance. In the administration of Islamic law today, the approach of standardization fatwa is controlled among others through the regulation of reference to fuqaha. Islamic law reference and the focus of legal reference are based on the public interest or maslahat. This importance must be in line with the maqasid syariah required by syara, which is to ensure the main goal of implementation of wakaf property can be achieved. Thus, in addition to the reference to the proposition backed by the fuqaha, the emphasis and tarjih are on maslahat and maqasid syariah. This is because it is possible that in the case a view of Shafi'i scholars is a view that is not strong and the view of other scholar is more strong. Therefore, to achieve the goal of standardization in Malaysia, it is difficult and cannot be standardized because several initiatives must be taken by stakeholders in addition to the reference to the Qaul Muqtamad provided in the Administration of Islamic Religious Affairs Enactment. The second resolution, in accordance with the basic principle of wakaf property that cannot be sold, reduced, inherited and transferred, it requires a system to operate and manage the wakaf property. Geographic information system is said to have the ability to manage spatial and non-spatial data. This picture shows the distribution of wakaf land in Malaysia. With a large amount of land, it requires a sophisticated information system to ensure that the management of wakaf land can be fully utilized. This includes planning to be managed and developed for the benefit and advancement of the community. The management of wakaf property through Geographical Information System (GIS) is based on the actual location of wakaf land. This simplifies the process of managing and planning further development. In addition, the data of a wakaf property will be entered into this information system and it will facilitate the monitoring process. Now, all wakaf properties are still recorded manually by keeping record of wakaf and wakaf land. This process is very complicated where it is necessary to refer to the original file every time a transaction. Meanwhile, the Geographical Information System can facilitate management work because it can display all information about the wakaf land. Planning on wakaf land can be also planned careful based on the location map of the wakaf land. The third resolution can be taken as an example implemented in the state of Penang. In empowering the Malay economy in Penang as a whole, then the instrument and strategy for development of wakaf land are seen to be able to mobilize large capital in group. In a situation where the ownership of asset in Malay population is limited, where the ownership power of the Malay in Penang and Muslim as a whole to participate either legally, then several mechanisms that are innovative and creative and proactive need to be established systematically to encourage and facilitate Muslim to wakaf. This existing mechanism is able to provide space and opportunities for the Malay in Penang to also get involved either in terms of ownership or purchasing power based on their financial capabilities. Religious institutions and Islamic bodies need to play an active role in creating wakaf fund and asset. In preserving the current wakaf system, there is several contemporary mechanisms or strategies put together to be highlighted by some Islamic institutions, whether managed by the government or private body. Organization, management and administration are key in ensuring the success of a plan. In terms of administration, wakaf land need to be developed and further expanded with all its component, concept and importance in improving the living standard of Muslim in Penang. The management of the organization and implementation of wakaf land development in Penang must be efficient and transparent in order to ensure success to uphold the maximum role of wakaf property in the life of Muslim as a whole.